Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trader interview. If you're new here, my name is Ethan. I'm in charge of pretty much all the interviews here at Funded and Futures Elite. Today, I'm here with David, and we'll be going through his basically journey, of and breaking down his process of the setbacks and what shifted for them and what actually made it click. David, if you can, just briefly introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, how long you've been trading.
Yeah, so this will be interesting. My name is David. Good morning, everybody. I am on the East Coast, in New Hampshire, where I've lived for over 20 years. I pretty much lived in a 15-mile radius my entire life. And I started trading over 20 years ago. People are usually
Wow.
shocked to hear
Wow.
that, but yeah, I've traded just about everything that you can think of, and I've gotten humbled quite a bit over my trading career. I've traded real futures, gasoline and oil contracts in the past where combined I lost over 10,000 real dollars in less than a week trading
Wow.
gasoline and futures contracts over 20 years ago. I've traded stocks, I've traded options, and I stumbled across forex. I can't remember the year, but I still have the original emails in my Gmail, but it was 22 some odd years ago. And I had opened up a demo account with forex.com and I had placed a trade and I didn't know what I was doing. I forgot about the account for about 2 weeks and I came back into the account 2 weeks after I placed a trade and I had made a little over $1 million with that fictitious trade that I made. So needless to say, that really got my attention. I became hooked. I put 2,000 real dollars into a forex.com trading account and I lost that in about a week and a half. And most people would walk away. But I
Yeah,
didn't because I'm
100%.
like, I've seen that you can make money doing this. I need to figure this out. And so for many, many years, I spent a lot of time trying to learn trading strategies, which I've probably learned, or I shouldn't say learned, studied and traded just about every strategy that you can imagine. And to my downfall, because now I have so much information in my head, I can see just about any reason to trade at any moment in any day. I can just pick the strategy that aligns with what's on the chart and say, oh, I should be making a trade here, which doesn't always work out. But yeah, I've been doing this for a really, really long time. And although I do make money with great prop firms like Futures Elite, I'm still not able to leave my day job. I've made, I think, over 30,000 since last September in just in prop firm trading profits, but I've blown, dozens of accounts as well. So it's been a long journey, but I am very much determined to figure this out and hopefully be able to trade for a living someday.
You were not lying. This would be a very interesting interview. 20 years is a very long time.
I mean, I can share my screen and pull up those emails from whenever I started to prove that what I'm telling you is correct. It's pretty crazy when I look back on it.
100%. Let's actually do that too. Yeah, why don't you pull that up just so we could kind of see like, well, first off, your payout as well that you just got earlier. If you did get that, it would be cool to kind of show the audience like, hey, this is real. There's firms like this out here that are not scamming you guys, just to be very transparent. It's real. And eventually you'll get a payout like this.
Yeah, I mean, I just got acknowledgement of two payouts this morning, so that went through with your firm, which is amazing. And I live for that payout to come through. It makes all the difference to me and to my family, and I hope to get many more of them. So if you want, I can share my screen and I can show the payout confirmation, and then also I can show you. It doesn't go back as far as I would hope, but I can at least show you emails from 2008 to prove that I've been trading for quite a while.
100%. I mean, 2008, that's more than enough proof than we need.
All right, let me
Um,
share my screen real quick.
awesome. Now, talking about this payout as well, like I know it's been a very long time since you've been, starting this journey, but like, do you still get the same feeling when you do get a payout every single time since the day you started all the way till now?
Oh, absolutely, I do.
Love
I
that.
always have this nervous anticipation, that, maybe the payout won't be approved or, maybe I violated a rule because it's happened to me. It's
Right.
only happened a few times, but it's happened. I've had some, these were small payouts, but I've had some large payouts denied by other prop firms because I broke a rule or a hidden rule that I may not have known about, and it's deflating. So there's always some nervous anticipation going into it. Like once you hit that request button or you send the request off, and then it takes a day or two to hear back. But once I see the approval, which usually means the money's on its way very quickly, in some cases instantly, it's very, very gratifying. Because listen, we all know what the stats are, right? We know that 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in 90 days.
Right.
These are real numbers because I live them. I can tell you that up until about 2 years ago, I had spent over $30,000 between just learning how to trade forex since I started, between courses that I took and studied, signals that I paid for, which almost never really work out, and challenges and accounts that I funded in blue. I was negative over $30,000. And in the last 2 years, I've recouped the 30,000 and made another 40 on top of it. So
Wow.
yes, I am still very, very excited when I see the email come through that my payout was approved. And I don't think that's going to change because I don't have a lot of money, right? These payouts, they mean a lot to me. They're hard to
Yeah.
get and they really mean a lot when you earn one of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly why we're doing this to, for beginners out there, just to kind of give them some reassurance, like, hey, at the end of the day, no matter how long you wait, you will get that payout.
Yeah.
Whether it's with our firm, someone else's firm, you will get it. This is not a scam. This is totally legit.
Yeah.
You just got to put in the work for it. You just got to put in the work, do the right things, fail, learn from your failures, and just do it again and again. Consistency is key.
So let me just show you real quick. I've been trading a lot longer than since 2008, but it's probably as far back as Gmail will let me go. But you can see
Right.
FX tools. I'm looking at EAs back in 2008.
Wow.
Auto EA free trial,
2008. That's crazy.
managed account, so this was a service that would manage my account back in 2008. Point Break trial version, another EA, Pro FX alerts. I mean, I jumped in from the get-go with both feet. I was looking for EAs, I was looking for signals, I was looking for courses that I could study. A lot of these companies, too, they no longer exist. I mean, we know how much change there is in the Forex FX money map back in August of 2008. I mean, Pro FX alerts, E-mini forecaster. I jumped in with both feet. And again, this has been a detriment to me because I've seen and studied so many different things that I've polluted my brain with trend lines, support, resistance, supply, demand, ICT, smart money, you name it. It's in my brain. I can't, if I could flush it out and then just stick with what's working today, I wouldn't blow any accounts anymore. So that's that. And then I'll just show you right here the wonderful news I got right here on one of my payouts for just under $1,000.
There we
Uh,
go.
yeah. And it was approved instantly and I can withdraw it. I haven't done it yet because this just came through, about 15 minutes ago. So
Yeah.
you do get paid. Futures Elite does pay you. This is not my first payout with them, and I do have another one. The email just hasn't come through yet. This prop firm pays out, and they pay out very quickly, and I love it.
I'm glad you mentioned that because a lot of people, they're actually doing this, full time as well. Although, it is, always stick to your, main source and then do this until you can actually leave it. But a lot of people, are doing it full time, and it's good to hear that they could actually get paid with in a timely manner. And guys, keep in mind, David is actually working full time right now as well. And on the side, he's getting a payout. So all the social media BS aside, like making millions of dollars a day or in the month, this is legit. This is the real side of trading that you want to see. Along with the full-time job, he just made an extra $1,000 for the month. And that is beautiful. He could use that to invest, invest in his kid as well and his family and do good with that money, which is what all of us would want to do as well. Kind of moving on to the next question. What advice would you have for a beginner trader with that 20 years of experience?
I would say what not to do is not to strategy hop. Don't do it. I strongly believe that you can be successful and make money on some level with just about every trading strategy out there. What you have to do that I never did is you have to absorb yourself in the strategy, give it time to play out, master it, maybe not risk your own money or a lot of your own
Right.
money up front. So you do, there's a lot of debate on should you just jump right into a funded account versus demo accounts because you can trade demo accounts where there's no risk to you. What I have found personally is that trading is very different on a live account where you've put your hard-earned money on the line, even if it's $100. So I do suggest at some point putting some skin in the game because when you're trading with a fictitious account and there's no repercussions for losing, you take risks that you would never want to take on a live account. You just wouldn't
Right.
do that with your own money. So I would say don't strategy hop. It's one of the worst things that you can do. If you want to trade trend lines, people make money trading trend lines. If you want to trade ICT or support and resistance or supply and demand or smart money, pick one, stick with that, embrace it, jump in with both feet, try to master it as much as you can, get a mentor. Mentors are really important, but you have to find the right one. There are, just like prop firms out there are a lot of pretenders out there. You've got people that say that they're mentors that they can't prove to you that they actually make money trading on their own. They're usually good at producing videos and enticing people to believe that they're good mentors. Find a good mentor, because what that will do for you is they'll help you correct some of the mistakes that can be made, and they'll shorten that timeline from beginner to mastery. So I do believe finding a good mentor, easier said than done because of
Right.
social media. Everybody's a mentor now, but I would say do that. Stick with a strategy, immerse yourself in it, try to master it, put a little skin in the game. Even if it's $100, you'll trade more closely to the way that you would with a prop firm. When you pay 300 bucks for a challenge or $100 for a challenge, you'll trade more closely to that way when you've got skin in the game. And then if you do that for a year or two and you can be honest with yourself and say, I gave it everything I have and it's not what I was hoping for, then maybe try a new strategy. But I don't do that every 3 months like I did. Just don't do it.
Love that. Now, with us, you filled many accounts before, and you have to learn. Have you filled any with us by chance? If so, do you think our rules were too strict? Because we get a lot of feedback saying our rules are too strict, a lot of comments on marketing posts and everything like that, which is very interesting because I feel like our strict rules is what keeps you afloat and keeps you from actually burning your account.
Yeah, so yeah, I failed a lot of accounts with you guys, but one of the reasons why is because I find your accounts to be the most economical right now. And so I buy a lot of them. And what happens when you're able to do that, at least with me, is I take more risks. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
sometimes you'll have 51% off, which I think you have right now, and I'll buy five accounts. So, five 50K accounts. I trade almost 50K exclusively because I find that it has the best drawdown to profit ratio of all the accounts. So I stopped trading anything above 50K a long time ago. And so I'll buy five accounts for $250. And I may take two of those accounts and copy trade them together and maybe take a little bit more risk than I would normally take. But I can honestly say that your rules, Futures Elite, are no more difficult or stringent than anybody else. I mean, I trade a lot of prop firms, but I can
Right.
honestly tell you, I will also say my first payout that I got with you guys, I did have a minor issue.
Yeah, of
It
course.
wasn't really with you guys, it was that I didn't read all the rules, is I had far surpassed the payout number. At payout you need $2,000 to request on a 50K account. I had made something like $4,000, but the
Right.
consistency rule I was way off. And so I had to make like another $1,500, and I did it very quickly, scalping gold. I had some very quick scalps, like 8-second scalps. So I very quickly made it to the point where my consistency met the target, but then I had to have a conversation about, well, you've got a lot of trades under 10 seconds. So it was the 10-second rule that kind of hurt me because I didn't know about it. And so my payout, I did receive it and I received it immediately, but it wasn't for the full amount. They deducted some of those trades that were under 10 seconds. But since then, I have had zero issues. I've made every payout. I've received every payout immediately. And I think your rules are as good as anybody else's. I don't think they're unfair or challenging in any way more than any other competitor out there. I think they're, and by the way, you got to figure the way that you guys work. It is a business. The only way these prop firms
Exactly.
can actually stay in business is you do have to have some traders fail every now and then. Nobody wants that. But if every trader was earning a payout on every account and never blowing accounts, Futures Elite wouldn't exist very long. And we've already seen that in the industry. We've seen very prominent prop firms disappear, funding ticks being one of them. I had a lot of payouts with funding ticks, and all of a sudden they disappeared because they were, approving more payouts then they had money coming in. So you have to have rules, right, to keep the prop firms afloat. You don't want it to be the Wild West out there. But honestly, guys, the rules here are very, very fair, and you will get paid if you hit the target.
Love that. And I'm glad you actually mentioned that as well. And, just asking you one more question because we only got like a little bit 5 minutes left on the meeting. I know you said it in the beginning. Would you really recommend, and this could be a very honest answer, is would you recommend Futures Elite?
100%, I would recommend Futures Elite to beginners, and here's why. Cost effectiveness. I don't expect new traders to come in with a big bankroll. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be trying to do this, right? You can get a 50K challenge right now for $49 with no activation fee once you go from challenge to funded. $49. Most of the competitors right now are anywhere from 69 to 115, right? So you can get two accounts here for the cost of one almost everywhere else. Accessibility. Whenever I've had a question and I ping somebody at Futures Elite, I get a human and I get an answer right away. I can't say that for even some of the most prestigious, longest running prop firms right now. And I've traded with almost all of them. So knowing that I'm going to get somebody to respond and it's going to be a human being, not AI on a chat bot,
I
that's a
hate
really
that.
big deal. And then if you trade on the Volumetrica platform, which not too many of these prop firms have, almost everybody is on Tradeovate. And I use Tradeovate a lot because it's very prevalent. I love Volumetrica, and beginners will love it too because it's very easy to place your take profit and your stop loss. And the unique feature that I really love, and I was actually just telling you this, Ethan, before this call, is that wherever you place your stop or your take profit, it tells you the dollar amount if
Right.
trade hits your stop or profit. So it doesn't do that on Tradeovate. It doesn't do that on a lot of other platforms. So you either have to calculate it, and sometimes, like the way I trade during very tumultuous time frames. So big moves happen within a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. I don't always have time to calculate that. So I love using the Volumetrica trading platform because you can slide it and know exactly what you're going to make or what it's going to cost you within a second. And Tradeovate, it doesn't offer that. So there are a lot of reasons why I think Futures Elite is a terrific place for beginners to start.
Awesome. Well
Yeah.
said. Very well said. I was actually telling David beforehand that he was a great speaker as well. Conveys his message very clearly. But we really do appreciate you hopping on here and giving us consent of doing this interview. I'm sure it's going to help many, many, many beginner traders. Just because with 20 years of experience, you can't find that a lot, and you can't find a lot of people who are willing to actually share that experience as well, or at least the guru that are larping on social media. But again, David, thank you so much for joining us. Traders, if you're interested in this and hearing more unique stories, please give us a follow, come back and see more stories because there will be so much more to come. Thank you for joining us. Peace.